And there we go. Welcome everyone to TGCT Live Designer Special, where we've got our very, very special guest, hailing 2 miles outside of Tennessee, as he told us about 5 minutes ago, from Georgia, DriverT, or Todd. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Did I do that right? Did I get that right? You said it was about 2 miles, or was it 20 miles?
No, just 2 miles.
2 miles, yeah. And of course, Dr. Yeti's with me as well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm probably closer to 2,000 miles from Tennessee.
I wonder what I am.
Yeah, good point.
But so today we've got, as I said, so DriverT is with us, who's won every award under the sun in terms of designing. We're playing his 2 most recent courses. The way we usually do this is we do the most recent one and then have the designer pick one from their past. And Todd's picked his second most recent one. So Miss Kitty's Long Branch Resort we're doing first, which is the most recent, and then the course at, I'm going to pronounce this wrong again, Hiawassee.
Close
right?
enough. Close enough.
Close enough. All right, thanks. Hills. We've got a full chat room already. We've got Golfer Dude in there. Good evening. Adam Hill, Keith Callahan. Good to
Big
see
Daddy
you all.
Hack.
So first of all, why don't you sort of, introduce yourself? When did you get the golf club? What, how have you enjoyed it? What console did you play on? Just a little bit about yourself before we crack on with the first course.
All right. I play on Xbox. I design on Xbox, and I got the golf club game not this past October, but the October before that. And I knew about it way ahead of time because I saw it on one of those those websites for video games, and I was really pumped up about it because you could build your own golf courses. And then I completely forgot about that game. And I remembered and started looking, and I was like, oh, it's already out. So I immediately went and got it for Xbox. So I think I got it, past all of the first startup. So it was a pretty decent game already when I got it, and pretty easy to use the designer. So I hit the ground running, making really bad courses, and improved from there.
It's funny, I think
So
Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, so it's an interesting question we always ask is, did you play the golf more first, or did you jump right into the designer?
I wanted to design them. That's the one thing that when I read about the game that interested me the most. Other than the fact that it was going to be more simulation golf and not power boosts and tapping the A button as fast as you can to get the ball to spin.
Right.
Because my favorite golf game was the old Lynx 2003 that was on the regular Xbox that was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw this one, I was like, this is going to be close to that. Plus, you can build golf courses.
Yeah. I wonder, I bet if HB did a poll, what drew you in to buy the game, the majority of people would say the designer. I really would. I'd be like 80-20 split, I bet. Would be 80% designer.
Certainly a majority.
Absolutely. And as we just said, the first course we're going to play is Miss Kitty's Long Branch Resort, and we'll come to the name in a sec. It's worth looking. We said just before the show, you've got a lot of 4 pins and 3-hole, 6-hole, 9-hole versions of courses, but there's just under 60 courses in this list, and if you go through them, so Oak Trace 9 won the TGCT Live Random Theme Design Contest. Apache Creek won HB Studios 3-hole elimination contest. 18 at Strawberry Plains is an excellent course.
Excellent.
Harvest Plantation is an excellent course. Cherokee Valley was in our first par 3 competition. Saddle Ridge. Cedar Lake, which was part of Taste GW's $50 prize money. It's a really good, strong list of courses, but considering you've only been playing, well, you said for what, maybe 18 months at best, you've done a lot.
I'm pretty fast in the designer. I have a process, so I can crank courses out. They give me a hard time, the Xbox guys. They tell me I have a course that comes out every month.
What do you think it is then that allows you to churn them out so quickly? You said you have a process. I'm about to step onto the first tee here, by the way. So.
Yep, I'm waiting on the first tee. Great looking desert course so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's the process I go through. Put the plot down, do all the settings first, which most everybody does. I don't really change the land a lot. I'll raise elevation, lower elevation, make ponds. I reduce all the trees and clean up the water puddles at first. Mm-hmm. And then I just start with hole number 1, and I start at the green and work backwards.
Okay, that's interesting. So we can't play along with you because we're on PC and you're on Xbox, obviously, but
yeah,
you can pretty much follow where we're going, I suppose. That leaves 2 open spaces. Anyone in the chat room wants to play along, come along. First quick question. How much better does the desert theme look now that we can put these green grass textures on the fairway and rough? It's brought the theme back into play almost, hasn't it?
Yeah, I would never have designed a desert course unless we could do this. I didn't like the brown at all. And I've been to Arizona and played some golf out there a long time ago, and the courses I played were all green. They were desert outside the course, but they were green like this. Yeah. So when they did this, I was like, oh yeah.
It's funny, we've had Crazy Canucks released a new course like this. Our second last designer special with Keith Callahan, we did the Tarantula, which is just like this. It seems to be the way that desert courses are being designed now. Go on. Oh, couldn't see that. And you're on the CCA tour?
Yes.
How are you getting on there? I would never survive that.
I just made it to CCA. I was on CCB and got a sponsor exemption and made the grade last week. So hopefully I can stay there.
Good for you. I love the bunker work on the right-hand side of the fairway here on 2.
Oh, that's really pretty. Yeah.
That's
really
one thing, DriverT, that you have always excelled at is your bunkers are always, bar none, above most other people's.
Well, I wouldn't say always. You play some of those first courses, they're not very good. But I have a process for bunker work as well.
Okay, right, where's the tee shot going?
Well, all of our first courses were a little rough.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was absolutely shocking. Chat room's busy. Keith Callahan said every month, more like bi-weekly.
Yeah, he's one to talk. He's cranked out quite a few in the past month.
Yeah, he does work for the company, in truth. He's got a good excuse. Golfer Dude holds the course record here, apparently. Is that on PC? I suppose it's on everything, isn't it? Big Daddy Hacks still plays Lynx 2004.
Wow, that's awesome. I grew up playing Lynx. Like all the way back to Lynx 386.
Hit the stone.
Yeah,
Yes!
I bounced off the rock too.
That would be the best albatross ever, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
Not
that's
that anyone else has ever got one.
Really nice big rocks in front of that.
I would have never gone for that in that wind.
So things like green speeds, firmness, what are they like on here?
The firmness should be around medium. I pretty much do medium on all my courses unless specifically asked to set one up for a tour to be really firm.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really a fan of the firm greens. I like to try to make it where I can hit a 3-iron into the green, normal 3-iron, not a lofted one, and keep it on the green. So when I do my play testing, I always try to make sure that I can hit an iron into the green. May not be right at the pin, but I can hit it on the green and keep it on the green.
Yep,
And
that's
then,
key.
Yeah, and I like fast greens. Where I live in the play golf, most of our greens are lightning fast. So I always like to make my greens fast in the game.
Yeah.
So
think
off
that's
in the
it, isn't it?
distance, the plateau work that you've got, the mesas off in the distance to the right on this hole, number 3, just very sharp.
Yeah, they're good right back there. And
They're
and
tough to do without getting that texture tear, and you've done a really good job.
I think we're going to get closer to those as we go around the course, aren't we, as well? I also like those massive rocks in the background, so much so that I didn't realise they were rocks until I put the camera on them. They look great. Oh, this bunker's in a nice place, isn't it? Just to catch my ball.
I just got snagged in that heavy rough.
I think
Yeah,
it
there's no light rough on this course.
Okay. Interesting. Reason behind that decision?
Well, the fairways are really wide, I think, for the game. So I thought, well, I'm going to make some pretty wide fairways and be fairly easy to hit. So if you miss these fairways, you're going to be penalized.
Yeah.
So heavy rough. And I haven't done it before, but I noticed, a lot of other designers will do that. They'll do the no light rough to just add a little bit more difficulty to the course.
Yeah.
So I thought it just fit in
We
this
played
course.
a course on last night's show that... I'm going to go up a club there, actually, sorry. Didn't have any light rough, but it was so long. I mean, it wasn't a bad course. It was so long that it was really punishing if you didn't get it. You know,
Yeah.
you'd be having a 207-yard second shot on a par
Over water.
4 over water from the heavy rough, which was a bit like, okay. But do you think if it wasn't for... This isn't a leading question, generally asking your opinion. Obviously, because the things, the players on the TGC Tour's PGA Tour are obviously that good. Do you think if they weren't that good, you'd have made a decision not to have light rough?
Yes. I went into this with the purpose of not doing any light rough.
Okay. I've dropped a shot.
Because I've done light rough on all of my courses. And I doubt this course would ever get used on the PGA because even if I firmed it up, it's still too easy for them. But the intention wasn't to be hard. It was just to be a fun desert course.
Yeah.
Which has to have a little bit of a challenge, right?
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. 163. Wow. I dropped a shot on that last one. Some questions from the chat. Golfer Dude, what's your favourite theme to design in?
Rustic, hands down. I love the rustic theme.
Oh, interesting. The newest one.
Yeah.
Why is that?
And I've only done one course in it. It just looks great. The next course that you're going to play is a rustic course, and it's fantastic. I don't know if you've played Keith's new rustic course.
I haven't yet. I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, the courses just look fantastic in the rustic.
Oh, I just missed a 4-foot putt. Stupid.
In my opinion.
What's your worst course to design in? Theme to design in?
Links, the original links.
The original links. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I never. It was desert until they allowed you to change the color because I just didn't like all that brown. But I never wanted to do a links or desert course because of the color in there.
Yeah.
But and now you would never want to do links anyway because you have highlands. So
Yeah, and with the texture swap, there's no need for it, is there? But
exactly.
Adam Hill, what's your favourite toasty filling?
Um,
All sorts on this show.
So if that's like a Pop-Tart, I like the brown sugar Pop-Tarts.
Oh yeah, those are good. I'm partial to just good strawberry filling.
Brown sugar's all I like. Maybe a peanut butter and jelly. Keith.
What about you, Els?
Toasty in the UK is like a toasted sandwich. So like a club sandwich or something. I think I like ham and cheese. Nice. Yeah.
Well, if it's a toasted sandwich, that'd be a ham and cheese.
Yeah, that's what I think Adam means.
I'm a fan of a ham and turkey club. Oh, I didn't hit
chipping
anywhere
in for
near
birdie. There we go.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Yeah, I just realized we missed the first par 3 to do our leaderboard.
Oh, I was actually about 6 foot and missed the putt.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
DriverT, are you playing along with us? Did you hit a good into that first par 3?
No, I was actually watching you guys on the Xbox and then talking to you on my PC. So.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Oh, that's going to go to the left. That's going to go to the left a lot more than it should be doing.
So I'm just going to give you 5 points then. There you go. You've now got 5 points.
Rascal 1950, who is your mate. His question's already been foiled. Hey, DriverT, are you Southern?
Southern is cornbread, I guess.
That's a good answer.
Oh, that's a bunker. Oh, I might miss it. One thing I like about your courses, and I noticed this when I was going around taking photos earlier, they've all got very good, like the clubhouse is all well done. They all look like something out of The Sims, you know? Like really elaborate sort of clubhouse. I think they're great, really good. I noticed that on the other course we're going to play today of yours as well. Is that something you always spend a lot of time on, or?
Well, probably originally not, but you know, I always thought that a course needs a good clubhouse, right?
Right.
And then one of the guys that plays with us all the time, he says your course is no good if it doesn't have a driving range and a practice green.
Right. Yeah.
So always make sure we have driving ranges, practice greens, and you got to have a good clubhouse to go with that.
Oh, this pin is evil. I thought that was going to turn back on itself more. Dropped a shot there.
Every good course needs a lighthouse, not clubhouse.
Some jokes.
This is a good-looking par 3 right here.
Oh, yeah. So I was in Georgia about 3 weeks ago, and we were staying at a place called Lake Oconee, just outside Greensboro.
Oconee.
Oconee, there we go. And it had 5 courses on. They were all closed because it was too cold and the greens were frozen. But man, they were good. Some of them were good looking, really good looking. Probably some of the best I've ever seen, in truth. Gorgeous. Right. If I take 10 off.
Oh, you got to beat my shot, Els. I threw a dart in there. I'm 4 feet.
Did you hit an 8 iron?
I actually don't remember what I hit.
Oh, good. Don't. After last time.
I hit a pitching wedge.
Oh yeah, hit a 7 iron straight in the water. You're never going to live that down.
I hit a lob wedge.
Yeah. Hit a foot wedge.
Oh, that's a good-looking shot. Oh, you're going to get just caught on top. Just stayed up, didn't you?
Just, yeah. Wayne Wheeler. We haven't done the charity stream yet. We're doing it over mid to end of March time. That's the plan so far. Oh, what a putt this is going to be. Downhill, left to right. Too fast. Way too fast. What was I doing?
So, now that you've put out a desert course, are you going to work in the desert theme anymore?
Yes. I don't know when I will.
Okay.
Dropped a shot there. +2 again.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Keith actually pointed out to me, in the desert course, the planning meter fills up really fast.
Yeah. I remember Canuck saying about that on his recent one as well. Yeah.
I think it's the dead trees and the cactus. I think those kill it.
Ooh, here's a shot.
But it is kind of crazy how you can have like a 3/4 meter full in the desert and you switch to another theme and it's not even half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually filled the meter up in this course and had to remove. I mean, I got the message. Your meter is full. And I was like, I haven't planted hardly. I mean, I planted a lot, but I didn't feel like I'd planted anywhere near enough to hit the meter because I've never done that before. I mean, only other course that was even close to that was Falcon Bay.
Yeah. Wow, that flop shot's just rolled back and back and back and back and back.
Oh. I don't know if you noticed, but I like to put some break on the greens.
Yes.
So you said you start with the greens. Does that include doing all the undulation on the greens as well, or do you plan? How do you go? You know, you're designing a hole one on the course. Where do you start? What do you do next?
I build the base for the green, so I'll use either the round or the oval brush, and I'll use the measuring tools now that we have those, and usually keep the greens, 30 to 40 yards at the most. Usually 20 by 30, something like that. So I build that first green base, and it's all flat at that point. And then I start working the fairway back. I have an idea at that point where I may want bunkers to be. And then once I get fairway built back far enough to hit a tee shot, I'll go and play the hole. And then based on how I play the hole, I'll kind of look at, okay, I like a bunker here, a bunker there, and then go back in and put the bunkers. The last thing I do is the undulations on the greens, so I actually come back to those and build in the breaks.
Yeah.
And kind of based on, where I'm going to put the pin and where the shot's going to come from.
Yeah.
So now that it's become a bit more of the design trend, do you plan out kind of 4 pin positions on your greens?
I do. I usually think about that. I was even thinking about that before. I tried to think about it, like if I was going to build this green, even before it became a big thing to do.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think there's been a lot of decisions like that have influenced certain things in the game. So, for example, I don't think HB ever really expected people to start building multiple tee boxes. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, you need multiple tee boxes. And then they put it in. But it's funny how does some things like that. I mean, cart paths are probably always a thing, but I don't think they ever expected people to go that crazy about getting them in the game.
And it's more of an aesthetics thing.
Yeah. This is an interesting tee shot. I think I've cleared those bunkers.
It is, because even when you think you've moved enough to clear those bunkers, you can still put it in them.
Yep.
We've got wind on our side here, though.
I plugged in the bunker.
Oh no.
60 to 70% shot.
Do you base ever any of your courses or holes off of real life ones, or do you use, like Google Maps or anything to get ideas for holes or anything like that?
Yes. Well, I've built 2 real courses. The first one's horrible. Don't ever play it. I'm not going to tell you the name.
Which one's that one? We'll go and look.
No. And then the second one is really good. It's a local course I play a lot, but it's not the real name of the course. In the game, it's Cahutta Country Club. Okay. But in real life, it's called Knob North, and it's a Gary Player course.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's not too far from my house, but I used Google Maps to get measurements and bunker, measurements, green measurements, and everything. So it's pretty close, I think. And I put in the thread, I had real pictures from tee shots and then a picture from the game. So I was pretty happy with the way it came out. I actually got another one in the works, which is
a real
another
course.
Yeah, a course that's close to me. It's the Bear Trace at Harrison Bay. It's a Jack Nicklaus course.
Great, yeah.
I've got 9 holes done, and the backside, the holes are laid out, but I've got to do all the measuring and stuff. And I'll just be honest, it's hard to get motivated to do a real course. I mean, it to me, it's like work.
Well, that was my next question. Do you prefer designing your own, you know?
Yeah, because you have more freedom to do what you want to do. When you're building a real course, I mean, to do it justice, you need to get it as close as possible, which is what Bomber's really good at. I saw he was here in the chat. He puts a lot of effort into the real course reproduction.
Yeah, Friend Bomber. Well, he did the one close to you. Yes,
Hobble Creek.
Hobble Creek. I always forget that name, and it was such a great RCR. It was really good. If you chat room, if YouTube, if you haven't played that, get on over there.
Yeah.
I can't remember how close I was to the green, but miles away.
I was actually like 2 or 3 feet in front of you.
Okay, you win. Fine. Because yes, you're trying an RCR yourself, and this is an interesting one. So right, both of you are building / have built RCRs that you love because they're your local courses, but in truth, 99% of the people playing this game will not know.
That's right.
That is going back to what DriverT said at the very beginning of the call. I bought this game for the designer because I want to design golf courses that I will enjoy.
Yes, that's what I do. I build courses for me to play.
But then how do you feel if they don't get many plays? Not that any of yours don't. If we saw at the start, they all get plays. But like, say one maybe doesn't get quite as well as you. Does that bother you? Does it not bother you?
If I like playing the course and I think it turned out the way I wanted it, it's fine. I mean, I've got a lot of courses I think that are under the radar that I feel like are better than some of the other ones that get a lot of plays. But,
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, if they get played, people like them, want to come back, that's even better. But if I like to play them, then that's really my ultimate
Els, was
goal.
that a kick in for birdie?
That was a sneeze in for birdie.
That was a good shot.
That was a really good shot.
I almost jumped up and down and put my top over my head if that sort of swished.
I saw that come in. I was like, oh, that was a great chip. And then I noticed, no, that was his second shot.
Oh,
Well done.
this is long here. Okay. I guess you're going to be mad if I bang it down the last fairway, aren't you?
Well, you won't get the beauty of the hole if you...
Okay.
And it will not cut off any distance because I've played with some of the guys that'll do that, and they hit it over there, and then they hit their second shot. We're in the exact same spot. So
Right,
there's no benefit other than you don't get to see the cool bunkers on the second shot.
It's interesting again. Han in the chat room has said doing an RCR is a pain, but then when we had Craig on here, the CLV, he's done Magnolia.
Yeah.
He's done 3 or 4 very, very good ones. Is it Han who's just released the Belfry? I mean, when they do pick up the plays, they pick them up en masse. Like some of Yeltsman who's done Troon and a few others. They've got a large number of plays because it's what people search for, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Friend Bomber's also done that excellent Pebble Beach recreation. That's probably got thousands of plays already.
Yeah. Have you played his Sawgrass?
I haven't. I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, that's really good. I guess the thing about the RCRs is though, they're hard to do, hard to build, way harder than building just a one out of your imagination.
Right.
But I guess the amount of plays and the amount when people love it and think, yeah, this is right on.
Yeah.
That's what makes it, I guess, worth all that work. I don't know that I would ever attempt to do like a really famous course that I've never played.
Sure.
That would just be really, really hard to do to get it right.
Oh, so where are you going to go here on 14, Els?
I went straight in the bunker.
Well, good play.
Well, I thought, you know what? It's still... I'm in the bunker, but I've only got a 25-yard chip to the pin.
Yep.
Oh, but that's a tough pin placement.
Yeah, don't say that. Or come back and go in. Oh, okay, I'll probably pick a shot up here. So that's the second hole, one on the back and one on the front, where it's been pretty much a drivable par 4. Is that right?
But being how the pin's up on a spine, it can make getting up and down tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 was also it was 301 par 4. I like them.
I love drivable par 4s.
Add a bit of spice to it, don't they? Because it forces people to be aggressive, because everyone wants to go for it. And then you'll make mistakes. Here might be a good reason why your planting meter was so high, by the way. Cool, there's thousands of them.
It looks sharp.
Oh, it does. It looks great.
I wanted to plant the whole course like this.
Yeah.
So what are some of the best courses that aren't yours that you've played on the game?
Oh, man, that's a good question. There's so many of them. Well, I love CLVs, Magnolia. That's good.
Oh yeah.
I really like Bombers and Sawgrass. That's really good. Of course, these are all recreations. There's a course, and I can never remember the name, but I favorited it. It's a Highlands course, and I wish I could remember the name. But he made greens that had multi-tier. Every green had like at least 4 tiers to the greens.
Wow.
And
I
know you guys have played this course. It was well received. That was one of my favorite courses. I wish I could remember the name. If I could look it up, I would.
Was it the one with like a train track down the middle?
No, I don't think he had a train track.
Oh.
I always forget the name, but I favorited it, so when I'm on Xbox and I want to play it, I can always pull it up. But any of those greens that are a test, but not rock hard. Mm-hmm. You know, I enjoy playing any of those courses that I can hit irons into and hold. And if they're a challenge for putting, even better, because I suck at putting.
Yeah, that's where I fall down, really, I think. Interesting. Railway in the middle with Shogley. Does he mean Royal Ballylaw?
I don't know. I can't remember the name. I'll have to. I favorited it, and I know that I'll go back and play it a few times, but it's been a while. But that course just sticks out in my mind.
Put it in the comments on YouTube when we put this on YouTube.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
So Golfer Dude and Rascal are both hoping for Valhalla. That may take 2 designers, because one will inevitably explode halfway through trying to do that one. Golfer Dude says the Rookery is the best course out there. That is a very, 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 very good course.
Yeah. I like Canuck's new desert course.
Yeah, the fantasy one.
I wouldn't really call it fantasy. To me, it didn't seem like fantasy. It seemed almost realistic. I know he's got the major elevation changes and stuff, but it is a fun course.
So I hit this ball a long way away from the pin, and it's rolled a very nice way back.
Yeah.
Because one thing you can set now, this shows how long I last built a proper course, is you can set things like the fairway, how wide the stripes of the lawnmower have been, and all that sort of thing.
And the intensity.
Yeah.
That's just all aesthetic, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. You actually have to change the firmness and the speeds to change the play.
Dr. Loden, good evening. Dr. Loden. This time next week, he's going to be our guest. Dr. Loden. It's a little spoiler for you.
Oh, I just hit a terrible putt on 17.
Oh man, you're way ahead of me.
Oh, am I a full hole ahead of you?
Pretty much, it's fine. Yeah, I do. The thing I like as well, right? The bunkers, okay. I think, in my opinion, as a designer, I end up either going with, so like these splat-shaped ones over here. You know the ones I mean, like the really wild ones, or the traditional natural-shaped ones. I find myself either having one or the other in areas, and not both together. You've kind of done that here as well.
Yeah, I do that too.
I'm gonna.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I'm in big trouble. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
you may almost have to lay up there, else.
I am laying up. Yeah, I'm actually just finding a decent
yeah,
pitching wedge out of there.
I think this is about the toughest hole on the course. 17.
Yeah, I feel like this has been the hardest one so far. This is gonna have to be an absolute quality shot.
Well, that 9 headwind really makes it an even longer hole.
Yeah. Yeah, those massive rocks. I always thought it was the rocks that pushed the planting meter up. Dr. Loden's just seen on YouTube that he won a game yesterday. Yeah, contact Dr. Yeti for that one. You guessed on YouTube for the closest to the pin, so good job. Ooh, turn back. Oh no, I'm going to drop a shot there.
Do you play golf in real life?
Yes.
If so, how often and what is your estimated handicap? Unless you actually have one.
Yeah, I
Drop some
play
shots.
at least once a week when the weather permits, and my handicap's been down to around a 4.
Wow,
That's very good.
congratulations. I dropped 2 shots on that stupid hole. Who made this rubbish?
I didn't see one lighthouse. I'm giving this a 4.
Golfer Dude has also said some idiot created a course called the Sneaky Golfer City and Vegetable Market, which is pretty good.
Hey, thanks, golfer dude. That one can bite you because it's in Highlands and it can get really windy really fast.
Really fast, yeah. I think I might be making a mistake here. I'm thinking this might not make it up that red slope on the green. Oh, it has. Oh, it just has. If anything, that slope helped it, actually.
So I'm an albatross 18 right here.
No, you're not. The only person who can albatross is me. We've been through this.
Oh, you're actually really tight there for an eagle putt. You're a little closer than me. And I've got a pretty good shot.
I think I've hit that too low. Oh, it's in!
Oh, good eagle.
That's one way to finish. An eagle on the desert course.
Yeah, 18's not a tough hole. After 17, you need a break.
Yeah, you probably have one of the hardest and one of the easiest right next to each other. It's quite long though. 3.6 and 3.5 will come in at 7, about 7.170 in total there. That's quite. It's not huge, but it's still relatively long, isn't it? I guess. So out of all of your courses, do you think that this one is your favourite that you've designed, or is there another one? Or
Falcon Bay is my favorite.
Falcon Bay.
Yeah, it was a runner-up in the U.S. Open Design Contest. Well, the third runner-up in
Yeah.
that contest, and it was like you just kind of caught lightning in a bottle the way it came out.
Right, I'm just getting. Oh, there's a second pin version of Who I See. Is there? Have you just released that?
Yes, today, because it's going to be used on the CC Tour in week 21, and they asked for 4 more versions.
Great. Well, we're going to play the original right now.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yep.
So this is Rustic, that you said is your favourite theme to design in.
It is currently my favorite theme to design in.
Before Rustic, what was your favourite?
Probably countryside. I got quite a few countryside courses.
Yeah, that was my
I like
favourite for a long
I
time.
like Boreal too.
I'm really enjoying Swiss right now. I think it's now that we've got the texture swap. Swiss is those neon greens are not a thing anymore. So
You know, I haven't even attempted to go into the Swiss theme yet.
You know, one of my favorite things about the rustic theme that the Swiss theme also shares is in the right lighting conditions and weather conditions, it's got this haziness in the air, like a morning dew.
yeah, this course kind of has that already.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I find with courses when they're in this sort of setting, colour and so on, is that they you can get the piece of land at the very start and just see a hole there, and that's a great way to start you off.
I just kind of fly around the plot, and you're like, there's a good spot for a golf hole.
Yeah, exactly.
My PC blinked out there for a minute, so I'm
It's
back.
all right. We tried to hide it. No one would have noticed if you hadn't said anything there.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. I was like, we lost him.
I was about to start trying to talk in a little bit of a southern accent and just fake it.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Loden likes the Swiss theme with overcast conditions.
Yeah, that brings out the kind of fogginess in the air, too.
We were saying this yesterday about tropical, how much better it looks with. Ooh, that nearly didn't go in. With a bit of maybe not the brightest as it possibly can be. Oh, I like this hole too. I like those bridges. They're very nice.
So this is the penultimate course that you've released. The second to last one?
Second last, yes.
Miss Kitty was the most recent.
The most recent, yes.
I like the bridge work and just the little, very well manicured presentation of this hole.
So we have pine straw here. I found when I was starting to design in pine straw, I just ended up not wanting to, but needing to use it everywhere, because I'd done it on one hole, and I was like, oh, right, I need to do it all on the others now.
It's all over the course here.
Yeah. Ooh, 2 for 2.
And the thoughts I had behind this course, a lot of courses I play, when you go into the course, it's just Bermuda grass everywhere. You know, outside the holes, Bermuda grass. Everywhere's just Bermuda grass. So that was kind of the thought I had on this course is, okay, you come out here to play, and there's going to be well manicured grass everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone hear of any news on possible new themes from Dr. Loden? I don't know. What else can they do? I suppose they can upgrade the ones they've currently got.
Els could use a moon theme.
Hey, I'm making my own moon theme. It's difficult because I can't use any trees. I can't use any... All I can use is rocks, and even they come out in the wrong colour. So I just have to use the own land against itself. Let's face it, that course is going to be a 9-hole, and then thank goodness I'll be finished with it. Stupid idea that was. Okay, I probably need to hit about 110, 113, 112 here. Let's try this. Can you remember what the first course you ever played was?
We have this course near us. It's called Concord, but we refer to it as Concrete.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can play the course with a 7-iron. I mean, they have par 4s and par 5s, but the yardages are all whacked up on the scorecard.
Yeah.
And we used to play that all the time because it was really cheap. So when we were teenagers and we didn't have a lot of money, we could go play over there for a few bucks. But it was really, really, really firm. Like, you take the settings and max them out in the designer. That's what it's like.
Brick fairways. Yeah.
Yes. Crabgrass.
So this bunker in front of the green on 4, just you do the splat bunkers really well.
Yeah.
I love those shapes when they put those in the game, because I was always trying to achieve those shapes with the other shapes. I was like, oh, these are perfect.
I remember when I first saw them, I thought, these are silly. And then I was like, they're brilliant. Within about 3 seconds. Yeah, they are very good. So you said you had a process for bunkers.
Yeah, so I always raise the greens for the most part. The greens are always elevated, and this just goes back to the courses I play in real life that I kind of take all this from. Once you get that elevation and you put that bunker on the side of the green,
Yeah.
I always try to, and it's not a rule to make it horizontal, but to make the sand look horizontal in the bunker. Because if you think about it, a bunker is a hole with sand in the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll have some that comes up to the sides. So to do that, as I take a combination of, if it's a cookie cutter shape, I can take that cookie cutter shape and don't sink it any, just flatten it over and it will naturally sink the bunker.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And then if it still doesn't come out like I want, I take either the sharpest round, not that laser sharp round one, which I have used that sometimes to get the right effect.
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
sharpest round or the sharpest oval, and make it small enough to where it fits into these little fingers, and use the flatten in there, and it'll sink it down a little bit more. And then I take that softest fuzzy round brush and hold down the A button and trace around just inside the lip of the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back and slightly raise it and go around the outside.
I'll play that spine.
I've got a couple of YouTube videos that I did because a couple of guys asked me how to make the bunkers. So they're out there.
Just missed a very easy part, sorry. Link us those YouTube videos if you want, and we'll happily send
put them in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Loden was aiming to make a challenging course, and within 3 hours of it publishing, the course record was already minus 14.
Yeah, welcome to my life.
Welcome to the golf club. Yeah.
This is going to be a tough one, I swear. Oh, look, Jim just put up 16 under.
Well, I think to make them really tough, the only defense you really have are slopes on the greens. You can't be like crazy putting the pin in red and yellow, but if you have little ridges and knobs, and I always try to put the pin to where if you hit the perfect shot, if I'm trying to make a really hard course, I'll put the pin to where if you hit a perfect shot, you're going to have a chance at birdie. But if you don't hit the perfect shot, you may roll off away from the hole.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's why I like Falcon Bay so much, because it turned out that way. Those greens, as with all the other U.S. Open courses, I got accused of making firm greens. Those greens aren't firm. Those greens are medium.
Wow, yeah. It's just the slopes on them that make them a challenge.
Yeah, and so if you don't hit, and if you just not hit the exact perfect shot, which is what a U.S. Open is supposed to be about, right? Executing the perfect shot, you would get penalized. And some people don't like it, some people love it, so you can't please everybody, right?
I don't mind really tough, tight pins and challenging greens as long as they can be held, and the fact that you make your pins challenging with medium firmness is saying something.
Oh, this hole is nice. I like this. Those three clubhouses all together, but this is a really nice green complex and all this here. Oh, okay, so we're right in between two clubs here. What do you recommend? A 3-wood and the 3-iron, sorry.
I hit the 3-iron, and it is pretty much the perfect club.
Yeah.
A little bit long.
Long?
It just rolled maybe 6 feet past the pin.
Oh, right, okay.
Those clubhouses over there are golf chalets, so you can stay and play.
Oh, nice. How do I make a reservation?
And you can occasionally get a ball through the window.
Just call the clubhouse.
Oh, this pin's right on the top of a hill. If this misses, it's down the other side.
Oh, I just shanked a putt horribly.
Stop, for goodness sake. Oh, there we are. Okay, that's all right.
That's funny about that comment, to make a difficult course and then immediately they shoot 14 under. So
Yeah.
I made a few just fun courses, in my opinion, and I thought, well, I'm going to try to make a course as hard as Falcon Bay. Let's see if I can do it again. So I made Caney Creek, which is not quite as hard as Falcon Bay,
That's
obviously.
quite a recent one of yours, isn't it? Isn't
It
that?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it is. And so I go to play it, and Doubtful Obelisk was on, and he played it with me, and he shoots like a 56. But there was no wind. There was no wind, so I was like, well. And in the wind, it's played a lot tougher. But he hasn't done that on Falcon Bay, I don't think. At least up till the last time I'd played with him. I think the best he had shot there was like a 9 under, 10 under, something like that.
I went for the money shot there
Yeah.
and landed in a bush. Standard.
I went for
You
the
got-
money shot and got right on through, and I'm in the fairway.
Wow, nice. I'm putting for birdie, mine. But see, I bet a lot of people try and take that shot that I just did and mess it up.
Yeah, and that was kind of the intention with that one.
Yeah, you give them that little carrot and everyone will go for it. Yeah.
When, if you just hit an iron out to the fairway, this is a golf game, so you're going to hit every other iron from the fairway perfectly.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But we always want to hit it further.
That little though, it's like, ooh, I could do it.
I want an 88-yard pitch instead of a 110-yard full shot.
Oh, okay. So I think straight here is probably the one. That overhanging tree is just in a nasty place, isn't it? I might end up hitting that, Did you swap any of the textures round for this?
Yes, the bunkers are lighter. I think I changed all the textures. I just got in there and went through them and I may have ended up back on the same one. I don't know, because I just kind of went through them and said, oh, yeah, that one looks good. I'm going to put that one in.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, it's alright. It's light rough. It's fine. This is, again, another clubhouse. I said this earlier.
Yeah, the
Clubhouse
brick
looks
wall
great.
and flowers.
I
Excellent.
really like these. The way you've done the little steps. What are they? Benches?
No, those are the individual.
Oh, just the single steps.
Yeah, I've started using that. I think those single steps spaced out make really good staircases.
Yeah, agreed.
And if you look over to the left, you'll see a nice driving range.
Oh, we'll go and have a look there in a second. Unless this shot goes in. Let's go and have a look. Oh yeah, look at that.
That's a nice practice facility.
That does look good. I'm trying to get there. There we go. Goodness knows when my golf is going to be aiming after this. Yeah, that's really nice. Oh, he's still putting good.
They've even got individual stalls.
That gets the seal of approval from the Xbox guys.
Are they quite picky about the aesthetics then, and golf and all that sort of thing?
They are.
I think
Gotta-
I've only bothered to put a driving range and practice green on one of my courses.
Question from Golfer Dude. With winds over 5... I don't know who this is to. Let's all answer it, I guess. With winds over 5 or 6, do you play the wind and draw or fade it back, or do you move the player? When I mean move the player, do you move the...
It depends on the situation. When I drive, most times I'll play the wind, but on my approach shots into the green, most times I will play a draw or a fade.
Same.
But I do both in different situations. It depends. Sometimes I'll play the wind or a draw, if I have to whip it around a tree on a dog leg or something.
Yeah, I always move... I very rarely do draws and fades, actually. I used to try and do them, but then I think I had my numbers all wrong. And I thought a box would add more left or right than it actually did. But what do you do, Golfer Dude? Smurfblade plays the wind 99% of the time.
Oh, great little par 3 here. Little island.
Dr.
Well,
Logan generally doesn't play a fade or a draw as well. Scarpacci used to draw fade, but now doesn't. Oh yeah, this is. I remember when I was doing some of those photos. Obviously, I didn't play any of the course. I really didn't. But this was one I was like, this looks good. I didn't want to reveal too much of it to myself without.
I noticed you just put a fence along the road in the distance. How long did that fence take you?
That one didn't really take all that long because I cheated and I used the really long fence that has the post in the middle,
Okay.
right? And so I laid those out and I made sure that the ends were close enough because I knew I was
For the-
going to go back with the brick columns.
hmm
So I cheated on that fence.
Oh, that's not cheating. That's
I like
genius.
the way it looks. I like the way those brick columns and the wooden fence go together.
Yeah, it looks sharp.
Oh, how did I miss that? I've dropped a shot there after landing about 3 foot from the pin. Damn it. Oh well. Adam Hill hits and hopes, works 100% of the time.
Grip it and rip it.
Rattle Scouse, welcome along.
That's how I golf in real life.
Grip it, the John Daly approach, grip it and rip it.
Yeah, I usually have a cigar and a flask of whiskey.
And the most ridiculously coloured trousers pants you've ever seen in your life. John Daly.
That word sounds so forced. Those pants.
Pants. Oh, I only got 95% there. Someone will be having a go at me after last night's show saying, with your swing you should always get under 100%. Whoever that was. Let's get grief on this show, have you noticed? I probably deserve most of it, in truth. I'm right under this tree here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit it.
So of all the courses that you have designed, what one do you look back on and think I could have done better? And then also, what ones do you look back on and think that's my best one?
Of course, the first ones could definitely have been better. I think Harvest Plantation turned out harder than I intended it to. When I was building it, I thought, well, this would be pretty easy, and then it was used on the European Tour. Of course, it was a shortened field, and like one guy shot under par.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But all the best players were playing in a special event, so can't. But it did. It turned out a lot more difficult, which is okay. But I didn't really intend it to be that hard. I guess when you put wind on it, it's so long. It's hard to. I like all the ones that I've built, so it's hard to pick out any of the more recent ones that I think just didn't quite get what I wanted. But and what was the second part of that question?
What is your personal favorite?
Well, Falcon Bay is my favorite, just because I pulled off the difficulty that I wanted to, and it did so well. I'm really proud of Apache Creek, of course, because it won a very tough contest, head-to-head matchups every week to carry on. So that course turned out really well, and I've released some tournament versions of it for Doily, which they haven't put on tour yet, but he'd asked for them, and it's really turned out pretty good. The tournament versions are pretty tough. And then Strawberry Plains, that turned out a lot better than I thought it would in the
That's
Delta.
one of my favourite of yours, but 18 at Strawberry Plains is really good. I really like that.
If you haven't played that, audience,
Get
go
on it
play it immediately after this show.
Yeah.
No thanks. That's the only Delta course I've done, and I didn't want it to be, I didn't want to see much of the Delta, the ground textures, so I covered it in grass for the most part.
That's not that uncommon that people have done that, I think.
Yeah,
It's funny
and
with Delta, because it was like the next desert, and then no one really liked the desert bit, which is weird. Yeah.
and you're right from what you said earlier. Most courses tend to be 95% grass, just maybe not mowed or manicured like the rest of the course, but you've definitely done that on most of your courses, and I think it just looks really sharp.
Chat's been flowing. Golfer Dude says that it's been very kind. I'm playing really well, and I'm 2 months away from a victory at Augusta. Could you imagine? People like Doyley and Blue Orphan and that. They'd just be like, it'd be
They'd
like the
quit.
Matrix. It's just like numbers going through their head, like heads would explode. Rattle Scouse has said, can anybody give any tips to calculate rollout on firm greens? Oh, I've hit a terrible shot there. Reading the chat room instead of concentrating. Greens are the bit I struggle with the most. So, not from me. Can either of you guys or any other chat room help out Rattle Scouse? Tips to calculate rollout on firm greens.
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know exact, but just throwing numbers out from my recollection is when I know the greens are firm and fast, I try to plan my 3-iron to have 15 to 20 yards of rollout, and my 7-iron closer to 5 to 8 yards of rollout. I think it's once you get down to the pitching wedge when you get like a one hop and stop. And then it's only like the lob wedge and the sand wedge that will actually backspin under those conditions. Does that sound right?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Dr. Loden has also said, Adam Hill hits and hopes again. Dr. Loden, the slope you land on is very important.
Yes.
Landing on an upslope will really help your ball up quicker. Help slow the ball up quicker. Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Loden's also said, how come every time I see Els play he's under par now? I don't know if you were watching earlier when Yeti and I played our tour rounds at Rascals course. What was it called again? Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Majestic Mountain or something?
Spirit Mountain.
Spirit Mountain.
Majestic Mountain.
Hey, that's a good name.
It's copyrighted. I've already got that name. Majestic Mountain at Yeti Point. That's my next course. No, I'm just kidding.
While we're on course names, Miss Kitty's Roller Rescue, what was it called? Long Branch Resort.
Yeah,
Why is that called as it was?
Well, Miss Kitty, I'm a big fan of Gunsmoke, the TV show from way back, right? It went from the 50s to the mid 70s, and so it's going to be in the desert. I'm going to use a Gunsmoke name. So Miss Kitty, and she owned the Long Branch Saloon. So there you go.
I'm sure that's what the bar in the clubhouse is named.
Yeah, the Long Branch.
And this one?
These past few courses before Miss Kitty's, I'll just be driving around and see something, a name of a street, something around where I live, and think, hey, I could make a name of a golf course out of that. So where I live, we have the Hiwassee River that flows into the Tennessee River.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to use Hiwassee in the name of a course. So that's how I came up with that.
That's a bit like what Canuck does, I think. Just uses local names and places, and even I don't think he's ever done a shop, but maybe like a national park or something, or Dr. Loden again. Am I the only one who actually prefers playing on firm greens? Soft greens make it too easy to get the distance spot on, if your maths is correct. The thing is, though, sometimes the really soft greens is sort of the opposite. You expect the ball to move, and it doesn't. I don't know what you guys think.
I like a good mix. I do agree that sometimes, it all depends on how the designer designed the course and put the pins. If they're really fast greens, I want pins that are in more approachable, flatter areas. Not necessarily pool table flat, but where you can at least have a chance to keep it tight. But if they're very soft greens, then you can start tucking the pins in more difficult spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like medium greens. I don't really like the firm greens. I wish, and hopefully, I've heard rumors that they're going to make that dial more, which is just rumors, right? So you could actually get a medium soft, a medium firm, and
Instead
change
of
it
like the
around.
4 settings that are in there now, even though the dial
Yeah.
appears to give you like 30.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, so this pin looks
We
unreachable.
landed right next to each other there off that
Yep.
drive. Oh, stay there, stay there, stay. Oh, good.
See, I went down to a 5 wood knowing that I wanted to be able to pitch it on the green, not have a nasty putt. It actually looks like you were just short of the green. Yeah, the great finishing hole here.
Yeah, this is really, really nice. Just having a quick look at Ericsson Stone's comment chat. Don't mind firm greens as long as there's somewhere to run the ball up from, or put the pin where you can putt uphill.
Yeah, the main thing with firm greens is when I land it, 5-10 yards in front of the pin, and it rolls off the back of the green every time. It becomes frustrating by the end of 18 holes.
Oh yeah, you've had enough then, yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of slope from front to back, which is not conducive to firm.
Yep. So I recovered nicely there on the back 9 and birdied the last 4 or 5 holes.
Go on, ball. Go on, you will.
Was that the Sanford and Son song I just heard starting up?
That was my ringtone.
All I needed was like those 2 little and I knew
It's so
immediately
funny.
that's Sanford and Sons.
Everybody gets a laugh out of that. It's funny.
Two excellent courses. I've not just given them 10s because you're on the show. I really like both of them. I think I really, really like both. Obviously, I like this Hiwazi Hills. Probably a touch better than the desert one, but they were both absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's been really nice here and kind of how you design, how you start from the green and go backwards. Just kind of the concepts of how you like to lay out your course and set your settings and kind of the thought process behind things. And, it really shows how much time and care you put into your courses because they are some of the best.
Oh, well, the fact that so many awards have been won. If you could give sort of someone starting the game, or, I hate this question, but I always ask it. If you could go back in time and give 18 months ago DriverT one bit of advice, what would it be?
Use the fuzzy brush. It is your
Amen.
friend. It is your friend.
He is. I'm just going again through, just having a quick look through some of your courses. So definitely recommend, guys, if you haven't played some of these, especially the ones with don't play at the front, you should definitely play those.
There's a story behind that.
Falcon Bay, Links of Evermore, Four Sticks, Misty Mountain. See, some of these, like we mentioned at the start, the ones with 1.2, 3.5, but there are some here that, and it's inevitable with anyone's courses, just get lost in the pack. That Cole Hutter is an RCR you mentioned. Harvest Plantation is quality. Cherokee Valley was one of my favourites in our first par 3. Certainly beat that rubbish that won it. Cedar Lake Plantation is great. I'm only kidding.
I know.
Todd, thank you very, very much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for
It's
asking.
been a pleasure. And keep up the good work, should we say?
Definitely.
Because it's always whenever you post on either forum, hey, I've got a new course, trust me, it's on our list before you even posted it. So thanks once again chat room, thanks very much for some great questions in there. Thanks you all very much for joining us, and we will all see you again next Wednesday for TGCT Live. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you then.
Take care.